Hi guys, I hope that you're really well. Alors certainement, j'espère que vous allez tous très bien. So today, another little video from my weekend away. Alors une deuxième petite vidéo de mon week-end en vacances. Probably going to speak a little bit faster in this video. So there's something for those who are more advanced. Alors je vais probablement parler un peu plus vite cette fois-ci dans cette vidéo pour qu'il y ait quelque chose pour ceux qui sont un peu plus avancés. Yeah, so really lovely day. Alors ça s'est très bien passé aujourd'hui. Woke up at 11:30. No, woke up at 7, then went back to bed and woke up at 11:30. Alors je me suis réveillé à 7h et ensuite, voilà, je me suis rendormi, je me suis réveillé une deuxième fois à 11h30. I never even use an alarm. I always wake up religiously about 7:15. Alors moi, j'ai même pas besoin de mettre un réveil, je me réveille toujours à 7h, oui, 7h15, 7h15. And I know it's 7:15-ish because I'll make my coffee. And then there's a couple of things that I regularly do, like there's a couple of people I support online. I click like on their videos to try and promote them for their work and stuff, which, because, you know, that's part of the world nowadays. Alors, je sais très bien que je me réveille à cette heure-ci parce que voilà, j'ai ma petite routine. Donc voilà, je prépare mon café à boire. Ensuite, voilà, il y a des gens que j'aime bien soutenir parce que voilà, ils doivent faire de la publicité, de la pub pour leur travail parce que ça fait partie du monde de travail. So I click like on their whatever social media, then I'll just kind of whatever chill for a little bit and then normally go to the gym. Donc alors j'aime liker quand même ce qu'ils ont posté et je fais du sport. But I just woke up at 11:30 and I was like, wow, shit, I must have been absolutely knackered. Alors je me suis réveillé à 11h30 et je me suis dit, tiens, j'imagine que j'étais bien crevé, quoi. But I kind of had some jobs to do. Alors j'avais du travail à faire. I know I said I had nothing formally to do, but I like to do something when I'm here. Alors je sais que j'avais dit que j'avais rien à faire formellement, rien de formel, mais j'aime quand même faire quelque chose, enfin, lorsque je suis là, quoi. So, my friend Jill, who lives over the back, and it's actually the 3-year anniversary of us meeting and becoming friends because I remember because I was doing a garden for somebody else and I needed to access Jill's garden to access the one wall. Oui, alors effectivement, ça fait 3 ans que je la connais parce que je faisais le jardin pour quelqu'un d'autre et j'ai dû accéder au jardin de Gilles pour accéder au mur de cette personne. C'est une situation un peu compliquée. Yeah, and anyway, so I really wanted her ladder. She's got the most amazing ladder. It's just so big, so whatever. Oui, alors je voulais qu'elle me prête enfin son échelle. Because I don't know why, but I decided that I needed to get rid of a shitload of ivy and trim all the roses. And it's not the best time of the year to prune roses formally. You're supposed to sort of do it sort of February, March in Europe, but they were just enormous because I didn't get a chance to do it last year. Alors, t'es pas trop censé tailler les roses maintenant, on est censé les faire février, mars, en fonction du climat en Europe, mais j'ai pas pu le faire l'année dernière. So they were just like enormous. And yeah, and I just thought, do you know what? Let's do it. Because what you're supposed to do is wait for the new growth in the new year after the last frost kind of thing, and then go through and do a trim and let some of the new red shoots grow. But like this shit is just cray. This was just getting a bit enormous. Oui, and so then what? So oh oui, elle était censée tendre jusqu'à ce que ça bourgeonne, alors rouge, et c'est ça qui va pousser. Mais alors cette fois-ci, c'était énorme. J'avais entièrement oublié de le faire l'année dernière. I was just really happy the end of last summer, and enjoying somebody's company, and I just didn't want to come away for weeks at a time. Alors moi, j'étais bien content l'année dernière, enfin vers le fin de l'été. Et tu vois, ouais, j'avais pas envie enfin, je m'amusais bien avec quelqu'un et je voulais pas, enfin, les quitter, quoi. So yeah, had a lovely cup of coffee with Jill and had a really good conversation. She's really interesting, her husband Charles as well. Alors ouais, j'ai pris un café avec Gilles et son mari Charles. Voilà, ce sont des gens bien intéressants. And then she was moaning because there's like a bush that had died in her garden. Donc elle se plaignait parce qu'il y avait un arbuste qui est morte dans son jardin. And I was like, I'll, you know, I'll like saw it for you, because there's some of it that was alive, and I was like, I'll sort it out for you. Moi, je peux le scier. So she loves me, donc elle m'aime bien. She makes a nice cup of coffee. J'adore son café. Then I came back and I saw my friend Les that I'd had a curry with last night. Alors ensuite, je suis rentré, j'ai vu mon pote Les avec qui j'ai mangé un curry hier soir. And then, I don't mean to be unkind, but there's just this woman who is local who, she just thinks she's fucking God, basically. And she's a real bully. She's a real bully to other people, older people. Donc il y a cette femme qui habite localement du coin, et sans être méchant, elle harcèle les gens. And so Les has got a lovely little dog called Briar, and this woman had lost her dog. That's the freaking irony. Alors cette femme, elle avait perdu son chien. C'est ça l'ironie, quoi. And then Les's dog had just gone out into the sort of central garden that we all have. Alors le chien de Les était sorti, effectivement, il était tout au milieu du jardin central qu'on a. And this woman was like, oh, you don't even know where your dog is. Alors, tu sais même pas où est ton chien. And I was like, hello? Pot, kettle black. And yeah, and I just don't like to be rude because, but she's just such a fucking bully to my friend. And this woman had a dog before who bit everybody. And the dog was almost put to sleep. Like, as in the local authority were like, this dog is a menace. We need to get rid of this dog. Et cette femme, elle avait un chien avant qui avait mordu tout le monde, mordre, to bite. Et que les autorités, effectivement, ils considéraient l'euthanasie, like euthanasia, sorry. Oui, et parce que c'était une des infirmières qui s'occupait de ma grand-mère qui s'est fait mordre. It was one of the nurses that cared for my grandmother that got bitten. Et ma mère, and my mom, she was like, I'm really, really very sorry, but this woman is quite vulnerable and this dog is really important to her. Is there any way that you would reconsider? Et ma mère, elle a dit, ouais, je suis désolée, je suis navrée, mais c'est quand même une femme un peu vulnérable. Ce chien est très important, c'est quelque chose de très important pour cette femme. Y a-t-il la possibilité que vous puissiez quand même reconsidérer? And yeah, and so anyway, everybody's just fucking bent over backwards to help this woman, and she's just been a real nasty little bitch without being horrible. Alors elle a vraiment été méchante. And every time I used to see her for about 15 years, I'd always bring her some flowers or something. Alors chaque fois que je le voyais, ça fait 15 ans, voilà, je lui donnais toujours des fleurs. And then anyway, a couple of the neighbors fell out about something. I wasn't particularly involved because I'm not there all the time. Donc il y avait certaines disputes entre 2-3 voisins. Alors moi, je n'étais pas trop impliqué, concerné, parce que je parle là tout le temps. I got kind of drawn into it in a way which I didn't really appreciate because this is my safe space. Alors effectivement, tout ça est retombé sur moi et je l'ai pas trop apprécié parce qu'ici je suis zen, quoi. And yeah, they all took sides. And I didn't want to take anybody's side. I got on with everybody previously. She's been around here for dinner, she's been whatever. Alors moi, tu vois, j'avais pas des préjugés. Alors moi, j'étais indépendant. Elle est venue ici plusieurs fois pour dîner avec moi. And she just went rogue, man. She just went insane. And there's somebody that I love very much, and as a result, I haven't seen anybody, I haven't dated anybody for 2 years, 18 months to 2 years. No, not 2 years, 18 months. Alors ça fait 18 mois que je sors pas avec quelqu'un. And this woman, and I'm entitled to do whatever the frick I want, it's my house. Alors moi j'ai le droit, moi je peux tout faire, c'est chez moi. This woman, because I was quite popular with other neighbours, because I'd always help them because they're quite old, parce que moi j'étais bien populaire avec d'autres voisins, parce que je les ai toujours aidés à faire quoi que ce soit, parce qu'ils sont assez âgés. She was starting all this crap, like, oh, Luke has all random people over at 2-3 o'clock in the middle of the night for kind of all kinds of things. Alors Luke, il y a des gens qui viennent lui rendre visite à 2-3 heures du matin. I bloody wish. Well, no, I don't wish, because there's somebody I would rather it be. But I was really freaking hurt. I was really freaking hurt. Alors moi, je l'ai très mal pris. And the only person I could even possibly consider that had been across at that time of night was my brother. Because, whatever, he came across. So I was like, back off, bitch. I was really, 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 really offended. Alors moi, je l'ai très, très mal pris. And my mom was like, I don't care what you'll do, but you say nasty stuff about my son again, I'm going to come after you with a solicitor. Because my mom's got a particular talent for escalating drama. God love her. Et ma mère, elle a dit, and she used to know this woman as well, but she freaking hates this woman because of other stuff now. Et ma mère, elle a dit, oui, alors dites ce que vous voulez dire, mais continuez à dire ce genre de mensonges en parlant de mon fils, et voilà, je vais vous poursuivre en justice avec un avocat. So then this woman was like, how dare she threaten me, da, 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 da. So that's a lovely situation. Donc ça, c'est adorable. Comment elle ose me menacer. So yeah, so it's all a bit tense. Alors c'est un peu tendu. So we just try and avoid this woman because she's just whatever. Interestingly, I was going to go for dinner tomorrow in a restaurant where her son works, but she never ever talks about her son because she's managed to fall out with him. So yeah, she's a bit of a one. Bit of a battle axe. Alors c'est une garce. Bizarrement, j'allais manger demain, j'allais prendre mes voisins. Effectivement, j'allais offrir un déjeuner à mes voisins et le resto qu'on avait choisi, c'est là où il travaille son fils, quoi. Mais elle a réussi à. Enfin, je sais pas pourquoi, mais elle ne lui parle plus. So, yes, that was a bit of crap we could have done without. But the rest of the day has been amazing. So, I knew I was just having coffees with the neighbours that I really love, left, right, and centre. And everybody's cool. It's just this one woman's just, but she hates everybody. Like she picks on people who are like 84. Like she has a dog and she's blind, and the dog does its business everywhere. And then she'll see the business that her dog has done, and she'll pop it in a poop bag and she'll throw it into the garden of other people. And they're like kind of elderly people, and they're like, what the shit? Donc elle est méchante avec tout le monde. Par exemple, elle a un chien qui fait ses besoins, enfin ses crottes, et elle est un peu aveugle, et ensuite elle voit ce qu'un chien a fait, et ensuite elle la lance effectivement au jardin de nos voisins, quoi. She's just a... Oh God. Anyway, so I get on with everybody else. Alors je m'entends très très bien avec tout le monde. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so I knew I'd had a coffee with one neighbor and then another neighbor, and I was like, Lukey, get down to it, do some work. Alors j'avais pris mon café avec un voisin, un autre voisin, je me suis dit, Luc, vas-y, fonce, avance, que tu fasses ton travail. So kind of like give myself a little challenge, I wrote on Facebook, I was like, guys, this is the wall that I need to strip all the ivy off and try and trim the roses, and God, I mean, the ivy was just like freaking concrete, like cement kind of thing. Parce que justement, j'avais pris mon café avec deux voisins, donc un peu défi, un challenge. Alors j'avais mis sur Facebook, j'avais posté une photo de ce mur, disant, voilà, regarde, effectivement, le défi, le challenge, je dois me débarrasser, je dois effectivement enlever toute la lierre du mur. So, yeah, and I was like, if I haven't posted a picture by 6 o'clock of the finished thing, then just assume I'm being really lazy and please call me out on it. Alors j'avais dit que j'avais pas posté, si j'avais, pas posté à 18h, voilà, si j'ai pas, pour poster à 18h, il faut me traiter de feignant, faut me traiter de feignant. So that was fun. But then my mom decided to turn up, even though she was supposed to be spending time with my nephew, who's kind of converted her garden into a campsite. Mais ma mère, elle est venue, bien qu'elle... Enfin, à mon avis, elle était censée passer du temps avec mon neveu qui avait converti son jardin en camping. So that was cool. She'd made me a cake, which seems normal. Alors, elle m'avait fait un gâteau. Ça paraît normal, but my mom was like the worst baker you could ever possibly imagine. Alors, ma mère, c'était pire boulangère que vous puissiez tous imaginer. And she, like... but she's just amazing with gluten-free flour. Nobody quite knows why. Mais elle est formidable avec la farine sans gluten. Moi, j'ai aucune idée pourquoi. She's amazing, amazing. So we had a coffee. one of them is like French press, proper filter, really nice. And then the one was like instant decaf, and I sort of switched it up a little bit to see if they could tell the difference. Alors le premier café, c'était filtre, du bon café comme il faut, et ensuite c'était, enfin, déca, tu vois, en poudre, instantanée, pour voir s'ils notaient la différence. But they didn't say anything. I'd baked, because even though I can't eat gluten, I'm more than happy to handle it for other people. Yeah. Alors j'avais fait des petites tartes, parce que voilà, bien que moi je puisse pas manger le gluten, je suis quand même content de cuisiner avec le gluten pour d'autres personnes. I carried on, I got my work done, alors j'ai continué, j'ai réussi à faire mon travail. It's arduous, it's still ongoing, but we're all right. And then my dad turned up with my mom. Alors mon père il est venu avec ma mère. As I was saying yesterday, I wasn't always particularly close to my dad, but you know, he's made a lot of effort. Alors j'étais pas toujours hyper proche avec mon père, mais voilà, mais il a quand même fait un effort. And I needed to go to the little supermarket. Alors je devais quand même aller au supermarché. J'ai dû aller au supermarché. And he was like, oh, I'll drive you. And my mom was like, I'll just pick up twigs and branches and shit from what you've been cutting, because my mom loves that kind of thing. Donc, elle a dit, alors moi, je vais tout ramasser. Tu as tige, branche, de tout ce que, voilà, t'as taillé. Élagué et tout. And, parce qu'elle adore ce genre de choses. So I drive to the supermarket with my dad, which is like, it takes us 3 minutes. Voilà, il nous faut 3 minutes. And out of courtesy, I said, do you need anything from the supermarket? Alors de courtoisie, je lui dis, il te faut quelque chose du supermarché. There's a big ass massive supermarket where they live. They're about 30 minutes from me. Alors ils sont à peu près à 30 minutes de chez moi. But he was like, yeah, I could kind of do with some beer. Il a dit, ouais, j'aimerais bien avoir un peu de bière. So I was just like, okay, fine. And weirdly, so funny the things you remember. I completely know the beer that my dad drinks. Alors je sais très bien. Voilà. Je connais cette marque. So, yeah. And then I came out, and to be fair to him, my dad's quite tight. Like, he used to go to garden centres with my auntie, and he'd be like, oh, you owe me £3.13 for the coffee and the whatever, you know. Alors, il allait au centre de jardinage avec ma tante, sa sœur, et il était, ouais, alors tu me dois tel argent pour, voilà, telle somme pour, voilà, le café. So I was quite shocked. So I bought this beer, and he's like, oh, and he got his coins out, and he's like, oh, do you want some money for the beer? I was like, no, I can buy my father a drink. J'ai dit, non, je peux quand même acheter à boire pour mon père. So that was quite nice. And then weirdly, he was like, he's not on Facebook. My parents are more likely to use a spaceship than to go on the internet. To go onto Facebook. It's just not going to happen. Alors mes parents, c'est plus probable qu'ils se sortent d'un vaisseau spatial que, voilà, s'inscrire à un compte Facebook. It's just not their thing. Alors c'est pas leur truc. But he acknowledges that it's completely useful. Mais il accepte quand même que c'est bien utile de temps en temps. And somebody had posted, so one of my mom's best friends who used to be in my dad's old job had posted a picture of him when he was younger on this kind of Facebook group. Alors une des meilleures amies, no, sorry, she'd sent this to my dad saying somebody has posted your photograph from when you were like a really young man. Donc une des meilleures amies de ma mère, qui travaille une fois avec mon père, elle avait contacté mon père pour lui dire que quelqu'un avait posté en ligne une photo de quand mon père était jeune. And yeah, it was a really nice photograph. Alors c'était une belle photo. Now really weirdly, I've never seen any freaking resemblance between myself and my dad. Alors bizarrement, j'ai jamais vu quoi que ce soit. Tu vois, je lui ressemble surtout pas. But this photo freaked the shit out of me. Really. Really. Yeah. Yeah, ça me fout tous les jetons. It was like, whatever, it was like, oh my god, that looks really like me. My dad's got quite a different nose, but in this photograph, he was like completely head on, so you couldn't see that. Alors, il a quand même pif nez un peu différent, mais il était quand même face à l'appareil photo, donc voilà, ça se voyait pas. But it really kind of freaked me out. voilà, j'ai trouvé ça très bizarre, ça m'a un peu bouleversé. But anyway, then, and my mom, actually, and I really love to cook, and I'd cooked for them, ironically. Alors, j'adore cuisiner. My dream is for somebody special, a specific person, just to come here, chill the hell out, while I just cook and chill and garden, while they just read and relax. Alors, mon rêve, effectivement, c'est que quelqu'un de très spécial qui vienne ici, voilà, super détendu. Alors, moi, je vais cuisiner lorsqu'il se détend, voilà. And don't get me wrong, I'm nobody's bitch, but you know, when you just care about somebody, you just want to make sure they're okay, don't you? Alors moi, je suis le pute de personne, mais tu vois, quand t'aimes quelqu'un, voilà, tu veux savoir qu'ils vont bien. So then, what else happened? And then my friend Debbie messaged me, and she said, "Did I want to go for a walk?" But I didn't see it because Debbie and my dad are the only two people, apart from the NHS, who contact me using SMS. Who uses SMS rather than like WhatsApp or whatever? Donc, il y a mon amie Debbie qui m'a contacté. Debbie m'a contacté parce qu'elle voulait quand même, voilà, qu'on fasse une promenade. Mais je l'ai raté parce qu'il n'y a que mon père, il y a Debbie et notre NHS, notre système de santé en Angleterre. Ce sont des seules personnes qui envoient des messages, des SMS, quoi. Because everybody else is like freaking WhatsApp or email or Facebook or whatever, or Instagram. Newly, I've got a couple of new people in my life, very important people, who will only use Instagram as a message thing, which weirded me out at first. Donc, la plupart des gens, alors ils sont Instagram, ils sont WhatsApp, ils sont Facebook, ils sont... Enfin, je sais pas, laisse tomber. De nouveau, j'ai pas mal de personnes qui sont... Non, à nouveau, il y a pas mal de personnes qui sont très Instagram comme messagerie. Et ça m'a un peu choqué au début, mais voilà, je m'y suis habitué. So, yeah. And then tomorrow... Oh, yeah, so I missed Debbie, and she was like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I've got like an ear problem, an ear infection. Elle a dit, oh non, non, ne t'inquiète pas, Lucky, parce que alors j'ai quand même mal à l'oreille, j'ai une infection. Which weirdly is what I had 3 weeks ago. Alors bizarrement, ce que j'ai eu moi il y a 3 semaines, and apparently there's just some bug going around that people then get a bit of an ear thing from. Apparemment, il y a un virus qui, voilà, circule et des gens qui, ouais, ils chopent une infection. Enfin, otite. Yeah, so that's lovely. But yeah, and then my friend Jen was like, "What are you wearing? Are you wearing chainmail? You look like a knight." Donc elle avait dit, alors tu portes quoi? On dirait, enfin, une cotte de maille. Cotte is like the old French word for like coat, tunic. Maille is like the middle French word for like mail, like chainmail. Cotte is where we get coat from. And I was like, no, it's knitted. Non, c'est un tricot. This actually, weirdly, is when I came here after it was on the second lockdown, I think. Was it the second lockdown? Oui, c'était le deuxième confinement. Because I was never ever gonna come here. It's so weird, you know. Because I'd lost both my grandmas in the space of a couple of months. Alors, il y avait quoi, maximum de... So one grandmother was in the June and the one was in the August. So June, July, August, yeah. Alors, j'avais perdu la grand-mère paternelle en juin et maternelle mi-août. What's the date today? It might have even been today. But I think about her every day, so that doesn't matter. Mais je pense à elle tous les jours, donc peu importe. And I'd been at a friend's doing her garden. Alors j'avais été chez une amie, alors j'avais fait son jardin. And she'd said, do you want to stay for Christmas? Alors elle avait dit, alors tu veux rester pour Noël? And I was like, nah. And it was still a weird time for me. I was still trying to get used to the changes because of this fucking medication this idiot doctor gave me by mistake. Alors, c'était quand même une période bizarre pour moi. J'essayais de m'habituer à tous ces changements physiques dus aux problèmes, enfin, effectivement, que ce camp m'avait filé des mauvais, enfin, tu vois, les mauvais médicaments. As I think I've explained, there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. This guy thought I had an infection, which I didn't. gave me some very strong antibiotics, which caused all kinds of complications. Donc ce mec qui pensait que j'avais l'infection, c'était pas le cas. Il m'a filé quand même des antibiotiques à donf. Voilà, il y avait toutes sortes de complications. So I just didn't want to come back. Here, it would have just been because I adored both my grandmas. I had like a really lovely setup. Like I'd ring them both every day. Alors moi j'adorais mes deux grand-mères. Alors c'était voilà, ma petite situation était quand même superbe. Alors je leur téléphonais toutes les deux tous les jours. Toutes les deux tous les jours. And yeah, so I was just like, I don't want to go to either of their houses, which we still had. For Christmas, it would just be a little bit sentimental because we had some lovely. I used to, God, nobody had more in their sack than me, more than Santa. Like I'd come up every year or drive up, and I'd go and see my aunt and my grandmas, and I'd have all these massive presents. And you know, God, it was a big effort. Alors chaque année, je venais, voilà, avec de gros sacs, avec de gros cadeaux. C'était vraiment, mais quel cauchemar quoi. And but I had lovely memories of Christmas with them. Alors j'avais de beaux souvenirs de Noël avec elles. And so it's like, no, I'm not going to come. And then what happened was they decided to sort of like create this sort of zonal hierarchy of what area you could be in. So London was like one zone and another area was another zone. And this area was less severe than London for obvious reasons. Donc ils avaient créé cette espèce de hiérarchie des zones par rapport au taux d'infection, le niveau d'infection. Et Londres, évidemment, c'était plus élevé qu'ici. So if I'd gone to London, I then wouldn't have been allowed to go anywhere else. Alors si j'étais allé à Londres, j'aurais pas pu aller ailleurs, quoi. So I just thought, oh, I don't want all of that stuff. So the first lockdown I did in London, because I was really, 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 really unwell. Alors le premier confinement, j'ai fait à Londres parce que j'étais pas bien. The second lockdown I did at a friend's house. Although I wasn't great, I was trying to do her garden because I'm stubborn and I was going to show myself that I was still super strong. Parce que voilà, bien que je sois quand même malade, moi je suis têtu et je voulais quand même démontrer que j'étais encore fort, quoi. The third lockdown, I came here then. So I arrived like the 23rd of December. Alors je suis venu ici le 23 décembre. And I left mid-April the following year. Et je suis parti mi-avril l'année suivante, quoi. And in that time, and I knew all of what had been my grandma's old neighbours. Alors je connaissais tous les voisins de ma grand-mère. Weirdly, they weren't really her mates because she'd been in bed for 2 years. Alors bizarrement, ouais, c'était pas ses potes à elle parce que voilà, elle était quand même clouée au lit. Elle avait été clouée au lit, like nailed to the bed. So, and I really respected our kind of like little circle. Alors moi, j'ai hyper respecté notre petit cercle. And even my mom tried to kind of come and I was like, Mom, mask, all of this business. Like I was really, 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 you know, respectful of the whole rules and shit. Alors même, il y avait même ma mère qui voulait quand même me rendre visite. Et j'ai dit, maman, le port de masque, s'il te plaît, il faut porter le masque. J'étais bien respectueux de toutes les règles. And, yeah. And then this house just sort of mentally became my house. Alors cette maison est devenue ma maison. And my grandma had always said, when I'd done the garden years ago, do what you want because one day you'll live here. Elle avait dit, fais ce que tu veux parce qu'un jour, cette maison sera la tienne. And I was like, nah. You know. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love London and I love living in London. Alors j'adore Londres, j'adore habiter à Londres. But I'd always said to myself, if I was gonna like live anywhere else, it would be like North Wales because I really love the landscape there. Alors je me suis dit que si j'allais habiter ailleurs, ce serait le Pays de Galles du Nord le nord du Pays de Galles parce que j'adore le paysage. You tend to put du Nord on the end of it if it's like formally like Northern Ireland or North South Korea, if it's like a region that is known for that. If you just say the north of an area, you just say le nord de whatever. Put the nord at the beginning. But yeah, and then it just really worked out well. And then, you know, we sorted it out, like, you know, money-wise in bits and pieces. Alors on a, côté financier, whatever. And then I started to rearrange it. And weirdly, what's really weird is my taste. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was in London, I would do stuff so completely differently. Like if I had the whole house, like si j'avais, or the apartment, like entirely to myself. Like si j'étais à Londres, So I'd have like loads of show posters, like a little tiny baby grand piano. I just do a bit more of a kind of like urban kind of thing. Alors si j'étais à Londres, j'aurais le piano, tu as des affiches de spectacles. It would just be a little bit more kind of like bougie West End style, Lukey's London Pad. Alors ça ce serait un peu mon pied à terre, un peu londonien quoi, un peu plus urbain. But here, I've always liked, I like light walls and dark wood. Like I don't know why, but I just like that combination. And my grandma was the same. And everybody else, when people were looking at her stuff, they were like, Luke, nobody wants her furniture. And it doesn't match anybody else's stuff, but it matches your furniture. Donc tout le monde était, Luc, personne veut. Enfin, ces meubles, mais toi, t'aimes bien ce genre de choses et ça correspond trop bien. So yeah, so it's a really weird situation. And that is how your beloved French teacher lives here. But it doesn't matter what you've got if you don't have the right person with you. And you can have all the friends in the world, but if you miss one person and you want them with you and you just, yeah, do you know what I mean? So that's kind of the mental vibe at the moment. Donc peu importe, tout ce que t'as, enfin toutes les belles maisons du monde, si quelqu'un te manque, voilà, ça va absolument rien dire. Good. So anyway, I hope this was a little bit useful, a little bit faster. Alors j'espère que c'était un peu, enfin plus utile, plus rapide. Yep. Good. I'm getting some really nice results from some of my students at the moment. So, you know, if you followed me for a while and you really have felt your level go up, check in. Maybe come and do a couple of the public classes or one of the public classes. Yeah, I wouldn't charge people for a one-off if they wanted to come and have a go at the public class. Just to sort of be like, Luke, I've followed you for years. I've followed your videos. I've gone up a level. Yeah, anybody that wanted to just come and have a go in the public classes, I wouldn't charge them. Just be nice to check in because there's so many names and people write so many comments and I know the names. And people are so faithful and so supportive. And then people that don't know logic language learning are like, you're so mean, you're so horrible. And then they'll go and watch the videos with the groups from the beginning and they'll be like, Jesus Christ, you've told those people 73 times. And then they understand and they're like, Christ, you actually have the patience of a saint. But a lot of you, like when you support me and write really lovely comments, my eyes are watering, I'm not crying. I don't know why that is. I think it's because I stroked the dog earlier. No, I've washed my hands, I've done the washing up. J'ai caressé le chat, mais non, je me suis lavé les mains. Je fais la vaisselle. I don't know why. Yeah, so that would be cute. Anyway, all right, guys, loads of love. I might do. Oh, I'll show you my roses. These are from my garden because I was trimming the roses. So if there were like any left, the yellow rose of friendship, la rose jaune de l'amitié. Perfect. But there's somebody I don't want friendship. I want to kiss them from head to toe. Do you like my little prison bars, by the way? This is because, well, we put this when my grandma got a little bit nervous. Alors on les a mis, there's no crime around here. It's practically unheard of. This place is hidden in the middle of the forest. Alors cet endroit est caché tout au milieu de la forêt. But, yeah, when I took the house over, I was like, do I still want them? Alors, est-ce que je les veux encore? And I was like, do you know what? Because I'm not here all the time, it's actually probably quite sensible. Moi, je me suis dit, tiens, vu que je suis pas là en permanence, c'est assez prudent, quoi. And yeah, sometimes I'll just leave them at night. It's quite busy. It's weird. It's like, sometimes I'm like, the curtains are just a bit busy. They are. But I don't know, I'm loath to change them. They are. Because they kind of remind me of being on stage and the theatre and stuff. So we'll have to sort of see. Alors des fois, je suis, oh putain, les rideaux, enfin, sont un peu trop stylés, quoi, un peu busy, un peu... Voilà, le dessin, c'est un peu dingue, quoi. Mais tu vois, ça me rappelle quand même, enfin, un théâtre. All right, guys, I hope you're well. Let me know underneath if you followed me for a while and you want to sort out coming to one of the public classes. I'm going to go and get some sleep. I never shave when I'm here. Je me rase jamais quand je suis là. It's one of my rules. C'est une règle. I'm quite a shower person. Alors moi j'aime bien les douches, but I do love a bath here. Actually, no, that's bullshit. I love a bath as well. magnesium salts, les sels de magnésium. All right, let me know if you would be interested in coming to the public class. I'll speak soon, guys. Loads of love.